A couple of you have mentioned Amazon. I think it's really, Amazon at this point, for better or worse, is considered the big dog in cloud computing. And so the question is cloud computing clear, what that's going to cost? But really the question becomes, for many people, is Amazon Web Services clear? They really tout, hey, it's very easy for you to get set up on our platform. You can do it, in an afternoon. But are the costs clear? Can you really forecast Amazon clearly? Owen, your take on that?
So I think part of Amazon's attraction is you can just hand over your credit card details, get started, well, pretty much immediately,
right,
and have this awesome capability at your hands. I suppose the problem with AWS is now that they have such a wide product range, such a number of different product types, that assessing which product type is best for your needs and understanding how much this will cost you and assess how much it will cost you over a longer term is increasingly difficult. It also means it's quite difficult to optimize what you're paying in the future. So if you've started up a virtual machine and you've been using on demand for the past few months, how do you know how many reserved instances you should buy, for example? Or how do you know how to bid on the spot market? It's these kind of fundamental features of AWS's powerful product set that means it's quite difficult to assess price and to assess how much you'll pay in the longer term, I think.
Why is the meter confusing there? If you can tell me just a little bit more about that. Given that the pricing chart looks clear when you first look at it.
Sorry, was that to me? I cut out.
It is, Owen. Just you talked a little bit about the confusion. I think you used the phrase pricing meter. I'm not sure.
I didn't know. I didn't use that. Sorry. I think my microphone is playing up.
Gotcha. Yeah. Ronnie, what's your take? I know that RightScale is pretty involved with Amazon, or we talked about this. I think it was originally was it an offshoot of Amazon, or
not an offshoot of Amazon, but
yeah.
Our CTO and founder of the company was I think previously a research. I think he's doing some research at Cornell University with Werner Vogels, and kind of developed a relationship with him there. And then when they sort of split, went different ways. 2006, I believe, our CTO had an opportunity to build out some tooling on top of AWS, on top of the EC2 API to help his students at UCSB, so University of California, Santa Barbara at the time, right, which effectively became the first GUI for EC2. And then you realize that there's a pretty good and sustainable business opportunity there. Just to sort of touch on the point that Owen had made about the different prices and how they're difficult to understand using Amazon Web Services as an example there. Relative to instance costs, it becomes very difficult to predict what the abstracted service costs are going to be of a relational database service or of a non-relational database service. So if you look at server costs in EC2 instances, that's relatively easy for anybody with an IT background to kind of understand. I have X number of servers and such storage, and multiply it by the amount of time you need. This very simplistic way of looking at it. But when you get into these abstracted services and even some of the more advanced, newer services, figuring out what an app stream or what a DynamoDB will cost today is kind of easy, but if your business scales or your service scales, it becomes very complex to figure out what those costs will be, because you're so abstracted from the underlying notions that a lot of IT folks know, which is storage, compute, and network. So just to complement what Owen was mentioning before.